Cold Case Open Podcast, Episode 1, Partial Transcript. On Friday, October 12th, 2001, 41-year-old Jessica Cady of Shoreham, Florida, went for a walk after having dinner with her husband and son. Her 19-year-old daughter was away at college. Jessica told her family that she'd be back in an hour. Jessica never returned. 5 hours later, her body was discovered on a twisting road called Beach View Lane, 8 miles from her home. She'd suffered fatal injuries after being struck by a car. The driver of the car that hit her has never been found. I'm Paige Barrett, and this is the Cold Case Open podcast. This season, we'll be investigating the death of Jessica Cady. She was a teacher, wife, and mother, and in the end, the victim of an unsolved homicide. Jessica, maiden name Lansky, was born on March 8, 1960, in St. Petersburg, Florida. Childhood friends remember her as being a bright and bubbly girl who excelled both academically and socially. In high school, Jessica was a track star and a member of the National Honor Society. But her lifelong dream was to be a teacher. She elected to study education at Florida State University. It was there that she met Philip Cady.
It certainly wasn't love at first sight. Maybe for Philip, but not for Jessica.
Valerie Kaplan was Jessica's friend and sorority sister. The two stayed close after they graduated.
Jessica was just so much fun. She loved to laugh and dance. She was always in the middle of everything. Fundraisers, socials, the nights when all the girls would stay up late chatting. And she was very striking. She had the most beautiful smile and these gorgeous dark curls that cascaded around her shoulders. She got a lot of attention from the boys. A lot of attention. So we were all a little surprised when she started dating Philip.
Why was that?
Philip seemed nice enough, but he was quiet and shy and sort of average in every way. He was the kind of guy who just receded into the background, so basically the exact opposite of Jessica. I'm not even sure how he got her to go out with him. I know he asked her a few times before she finally said yes, but then, on their first date, Philip told Jessica that he was going to marry her.
What was Jessica's response?
She thought it was funny. That was Jessica. She laughed everything off. Me? I would have thought it was creepy.
Jessica and Philip dated through college and were married the weekend after they graduated. They moved to the small seaside town of Shoreham, Florida, where Philip had a job waiting for him at a chemical engineering firm. Jessica was hired as an English teacher at Shoreham High School. They had 2 children, Allison in 1982 and Benjamin in 1984.
Jessica loved being a mother. She just reveled in it. Every time I talked to her, she'd go on and on about what the kids were up to. She enjoyed every minute she spent with them. But Philip didn't take to fatherhood the same way. I got the sense that he resented how much of Jessica's time the kids took up.
To outsiders, the Cadys seemed like a normal suburban family. But by 2001, cracks had started to appear in the happy facade.
The last time I spoke to Jessica, which was a few weeks before she died, she was distracted. She told me that she and Philip were having problems.
Did she describe what sort of trouble they were having?
No, she didn't. But she did say something I'll never forget. She said, "You can spend decades of your life with someone and then one day realize you don't know him at all." Just thinking about it still gives me chills. It was almost like...
It was almost like what?
It was almost like Jessica knew something terrible was going to happen.